Hello, my name is Helen Lamont Smith. I'm Head of Commissioning at Blackpool Clinical Commissioning Group. I've been involved with working with people with learning disabilities and commissioning services for them for several years. We aim at the CCG to ensure that everyone is able to access services and gets the right help and support that they need. The service users and carers who sit on the Learning Disability Partnership Board at Blackpool have become very vocal about letting us know what they think about services, and this is something that we've used to ensure we commission people to help and improve things for them. Empowerment are one of the services who've worked very closely with people with learning disabilities to ensure that information is understandable and to understand how services work within the hospital setting. They've also helped to make reasonable adjustments for people and to educate staff themselves about what it's like to have a learning disability and how people prefer to be treated. At Blackpool CCG, we are highly committed to ensuring that our services do provide equality and inclusion for all people in Blackpool. We found this has been a really exciting project working with empowerment and people with learning disabilities, and we continue to commission other services such as dementia advisors and peer support. So we anticipate that there'll be lots more interesting projects happening across Blackpool in the future.
My name's Claire and I'm Dementia Services Manager at Empowerment. We're a local charity. In 2009 the government launched National Dementia Strategy, which was to outline their plans for improving health and social care services for people with dementia and their carers. This was after a consultation with a wide number of professionals and also with people with dementia and their carers. One of the key findings was that people with dementia drew significant benefit from being with other people in the same situation and being able to exchange emotional and practical support. We've been commissioned by the CCG since 2010 to provide a peer support service for people with dementia. We currently have around 70 members on our network, and we arrange opportunities in and around the local community for people with dementia and their carers to get together, to meet new friends and to have fun, basically, enjoying new experiences, such as we have lunch clubs, we go on day trips, we have a men's group, we also have a monthly social group. The feedback we get from our service users is that they get tremendous support from meeting other people. They've made some great friendships, and a lot of our members have exchanged phone numbers and meet each other outside of the club as well.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is David J. Tennant. The first time it happened was I was taking my wife out for shopping, and we'd been away for about 2.5 hours. And when we came back, we noticed a notice on the door, and it read, "Key next door, please knock."
So you'd forgotten to lock the door?
Yeah. And that was the first symptoms that was. About a few days later, Margaret and I was going for a run, and as we were going on Ashfield Road, I pointed out to her that the post office on Ashfield Road was a place where I used to buy all my books and magazines when I used to be on taxis. And that night, it just came into my head that it was a feeling I got. I tried to remember. I remembered when I was buying the magazines and books, but I couldn't remember the name of the road at the side. And that hit me, and I tossed and turned. And the reason it hit me was because my daughter lived on that lane. And I thought, strange this is. And then it hit me also, I couldn't even remember her address. That night I was in bed again, and I was tossing and turning because all damn day were going through my head. What was the name of that road where she lived and what number? Anyway, I must have disturbed Margaret again because she kept tossing and turning, and in the end I said, "I'll tell you tomorrow," so I told her. and she was stunned. So the first thing they did, they took me to the doctor. So they started testing me on this, testing me on that, and they realised that I couldn't remember lots of things that had just literally happened. But the amazing thing was, my long-term memory, it goes back, I could remember back to when I was 5 years old, which I can still do.
So tell us about the Dementia Friendship and Support Network, because you're a member of the network and you've been coming to trips and activities now for probably 3 or 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that. How do you find, has that been beneficial to you?
Very beneficial, because if you go on these trips, you're meeting people. They might have problems, and you, because you've suffered this yourself, you understand the problems.
You made some friends at the men's group, didn't you?
Oh, I made many friends at the men's group.
And you've arranged for them all to meet up here, haven't you?
Yeah. All the people that I met at the men's group all started going to the club, the men's club.
Yeah.
I'm here for one reason, because I knew about the place, but the main reason I'm here for is to give my wife a break. And I knew where I was coming, because from the past. And so she can go out and meet her friends, go shopping, go swimming, etc. And since I've come here, I've met quite a lot.
So our Dementia Friendship and Support Network, you've been on lots of trips.
Yeah.
And have you enjoyed the trips? And
yeah, very.
What benefit do you get from coming out on the day trips with us?
I found it very interesting because in one way I found it interesting because most of the places we go to, I used to go with when I was taxiing.
So it brought back memories for you?
It brought back memories, yeah.
I'd like to introduce you to Rona.
Hello.
And Rona is...
Well, I was a carer for my husband. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, well, nearly 4 years ago. But unfortunately, he died 5 weeks ago. But during the time that we were involved with empowerment, we went on the outings. We went to a meeting every month, which was very good, a social group. The men can go in a corner and play cards and different things, and the women chat. So that's been a great help to me. As I say, unfortunately, my husband died 5 weeks ago, but during the time we were involved with empowerment, it's been a good and fruitful time for us. And Claire very kindly said, I said to her, now Jerry's not with me anymore, is it okay if I still come to the Alzheimer's group? And she said yes. And Wendy said to me, who was another one of the advisors, she said some very nice things. She said, we cared for Jerry, but we also care about you. So we want you to still come to the Alzheimer's group. And through the Alzheimer's group, I've made a lot of friends and a lifelong friend with Margaret. We see each other every week and we have coffee and we go shopping. And this has all come about from the Alzheimer's group and the empowerment group.
Thank you. And Margaret?
Yes, I'm Margaret. I have had a good success with the empowerment group by meeting everybody. I'm a very shy person deep down, and I didn't want to get involved with anything at first, but someone mentioned it to me and said it would help me, and it has helped me. It's made me understand things better, and it's brought me out of myself a little bit more, and I've got some lovely friends among all the other carers and who ring me up and speak to me, and I go I speak to them, and we meet up at lunch for lunch and go to the support groups together and on the trips. And it's good for me to get David out, my husband, who I care for, on these day trips, because he's a person that would normally just stay at home. He doesn't like going anywhere, and we've had to push him. If I've said, what about this trip, he said, no, but Rona's said, you're going. And so we've gone, and it has done us both good. We go to different places, and it's good to get out and about with all the other people, all the other carers, and the people that have dementia and Alzheimer's.
What's it What's it? Can you tell us what it's like caring for somebody who's got a dementia?
Well, it's difficult because physically I'm not very well, and so it's very difficult for me. But it's also difficult because I have to be careful what I say, because if I say something wrong, then my husband will flare up and shout at me. Day to day, we struggle along. I've had occupational therapists have been in, and they've done things for us to make things a little easier, and he can get himself up off the settee now because they hired it for him. And we've had the bathroom done, made into a wet room for him, because I have to shower him every morning. It all takes time. You don't get to do everything you would like to do in one day, because the time seems to just go faster when you're looking after somebody. And then of course we have to get him out and about, meeting people. We've got him to the day centre for 2 days a week. Now he only goes there, there's nothing wrong with him according to David. He goes there just because I'm ill, and so it's to give me a break from him. That is David's opinion. But I think it's good for him because he's meeting all his other friends there from the sport group, and he also meets other people there, and he enjoys it. But there's good days and there's bad days. Some days is very, very demanding, and I find it very difficult. And some nights is up and down, and it doesn't sleep, and I quite honestly, I need my sleep. So that's a difficulty that I have to try and overcome.
What about you, Rhoda? How did life change for you when Jerry got Alzheimer's?
Well, it changed very gradually. He liked to go out for a walk, and then eventually forgot how to get back home, so that was scrubbed. Day by day, as Margaret said, it's difficult. He started forgetting, he used to lose things, and somebody else had always lost them, never him. And I'd find them in the most silly places.
It's the losing things that is a nuisance, and they're asking questions.
Yeah, the continual repetition of asking the same questions all the time. The thing about dementia, Alzheimer's, they will forget what they said in half an hour, but you can't. And it's with you, and that's why support groups, meeting friends, going out with people in exactly the same position as you, that's when it helps. You've got someone to talk to, you've got someone to say, how are you? You know, what happened last night? And but I think going to the empowerment meetings, and especially the bus trips, we enjoy them very much, because, and in fact my son always says I had a better social life than he did, because empowerment every month send us a programme, and there's something on every week.
Yes.
We're going to lunch at the college tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes.
We went to lunch last week. We usually have a day trip every month. And the social groups, and we play bingo, and we have a cup of tea and a chat, and we meet other people in exactly the same position as us. And you see a pattern with Alzheimer's and dementia. And someone will say something, and I say, yeah, well, Jerry does that. Or you say, David does that.
Yeah.
And it's a pattern, but support is the best thing.
Yes.
And do you think you've learnt ways to handle things from talking to other people? Like you've mentioned about, you learnt that it was easier to go along with things than to maybe argue or try and put somebody right. And you learn these things from each other.
Yes, you do.
You do. And I always found it helped to tell people that Jerry had Alzheimer's. You know, people, friends that we met, or, well, not friends, acquaintances, because sometimes he would say silly things and they would look and I would just say, he's got Alzheimer's. And then that would, you know, they would understand.
I think that's one of the benefits, I think, from coming along to the groups and on trips, is what people have said to me in the past is that actually with other people and everybody understands. So if somebody is acting a little bit differently, that people aren't going to be looking at you strangely or wondering what's going on, because everybody understands that it's part of the condition.
Part of it, it's the illness, because they're all normal people, and the public don't always understand this. They're still normal people. It's just the illness that makes them do
It's learning to separate the man from the illness, I think.
Yes.
You know, you just have to separate one from the other.
So, can you think of any way that we could improve our service to support people? Have you got any suggestions of anything?
Well, I think you could have the meetings every fortnight instead of every month. That'd be good.
Yes,
that would be good.
Yeah.
So to meet more often.
Meet more often, it is, I think you do very well. It must be very hard to be thinking of new things all the time.
It is. Both of your husbands enjoyed our men's group as well.
They did, yes,
they did. Yes,
we started a men's group, which was basically because we did have quite a few of the people that came to our support groups were men that had dementia. So we thought, well, we'll start a men's group, and we did. Well, we still do. We meet in a working men's club, and we play snooker, darts, dominoes, and the men really enjoy coming along to that, because it's kind of being in a normal environment. Some of them enjoy a pint or two, and it gives you a break as well.
Yes, it does.
It's a few hours away from it. It's good. Good.
Yes,
it is.
Yeah.
A few hours of normality.
Thank you.